very, very deep. She is not skin deep. Skin deep is only when that particular energy hetero hasn't really worked into your system. Once it really goes deep, it is very deep. And there's so many layers to go down through. Hetero is a beautiful
Ain't that the
energy,
truth?
and only quote unquote the surface has been scratched by many. I encourage you to go forth and bring her into your life to bring more sweetness and more depth because she has so much to show all of us. I mean, the beauty that is here. Carry this beauty with you wherever you go on this day and every day moving forward. May the blessings of Heteru and Oshun be always with you. Thank you so much for joining my video today. I am Zordi Muse here from the gorgeous Atlanta out in the heart of nature. May you always, always walk in beauty, sweetness, and grace. Ashe.
Okay. Close it one more time. There you go. That's our beautiful, beautiful, beautiful sister there, explaining what we're supposed to be working on, the next level of our natural evolvement, our natural evolvement. Lines are open 0203 289 6504. The ancestral voices. I want to hear from you. How has the ancestral voices been impacting on you? Yeah? Are you taking in these learning lessons? Are you taking in all of these type of I don't know, gems really? Yeah, gems, lifetime gems. We can look at this and we can embrace it and we can enjoy the journey that it is given to us. Know that our lives are far more better, more stronger, more enjoyable than what is presented to us directly. Does it mean that we just totally dismiss everything around us? Sometimes it does take us to do that. Sometimes it does take for us to do that, to just totally just push aside all those things that are happening around us. Take the quality time for ourselves. Take the quality time for ourselves. I'm just awaiting our sister to come and join us, right? And she should be with us at the top of the hour, right? So, and yeah, we look forward to having that segment there, right? If you want to join us, you can join us live on the Facebook and also on the YouTube as well on Galaxy Afawi, right? GalaxyAfawi.net. You can come and join us on there on the Facebook. Okay, so if you wish to, you can join us on there. Greetings, my brother Julius.
Greetings, greetings in the name of Shango and Oludumare.
Wait, you look like we've got a crowded house today.
My brethren, boy, you hear me? To show you that the ancestral voice, I am with it, and that's it. I'm not lost with it. I heard you at times when it comes with the ancestral voices. So this makes something to me today when I have to hear about Oshun and the African deity, because this is what it's all about.
Yeah.
Yes, my brother.
The thing is, my brother, right? I don't dismiss any of them, because they have all been part of the makeup of us as Africans in one way or another. Right? And the beauty of it is that we are in the melting pot of all of these. So therefore, whatever you want to bring and whatever what supports you, you are bringing that essence and being into the midst of our conversation. Yeah?
Yes, my brother.
Let me tell you something. When they meet, when all those essence meet, there is no war, there is no hatred, there's no discrimination.
See there?
Right? We all move in unity. We all move in unity. Yeah?
Talk.
It's only those who wish to attack or offend those who carry those deities and those entities with them. They will receive the pain and sorrow, because they are there to defend us. Yeah.
Yes, my brother. True talk.
Mm-hmm.
You know, first of all, I am very happy. This is like when they say the spirit move. You know, and it's moving in a way that you touch this particular ancestral voices that it needed to come and for others than to hear it. You understand? Because once I called Galaxy, and I think it was Brother Icon show, and I talk about the ancestors, then what we call ancestors, and then I even bring up something like that when I talk. I say the deity them which they call gods, right? Now this that you bring up and what the sister was bringing up, I was doing my just researching to find out ancestors and to find out about what was our own God's name, deity, African God and everything.
Yes.
It's coming to me and it shows me, even I used to call now, and instead of me use the word say the ancestors, I'm using a direct one, which I come to know that the most powerful one was Shango. Right.
So
then, yeah.
So now you are that connected that you can call them by name.
That's it. And you have just done the confirmation by what you have done. You don't realize what you have done now to show me something as well. Say, look, Julius, Brother Julius, I am confirming this to you now. A brother gonna play this and they're gonna use this one day because I come up with that, but it never take an effect. You know, I use the word. I said maybe this is why we are making some mistake, or this is why maybe we're not getting certain answer because we're not going to this source system as well, which we should be practicing, because it's a long time Wazongo, this white man come and give with their own so-called God, or that's which we call the deity of our own power, which we were having. They are using it in their secret, but they give us what we are using, which is the wrong thing. But when we got to find out, and we know that we was having ours as well, and the ones that actually create all these things, they even get, when you talk about the ancestors, you get another name which I come to find out by one of the powerful ancestors. That's why I said there is ancestor, there is this us of a human being, which was the two created things in our midst. We get the ancestor, which we concentrate. Okay, the ancestors is the one them who have come and gone. It will be some confusion there or whatever it is, because I was still doing on that research. But one of the ancestor name which I've got was called Lebe, Lebe, right? And Lebe was one of the ancestors them who had to die, and when leave that body, and it bones them and everything was what was created, that us, which come as a human being. You understand? So it might not be wrong when someone say to our ancestors them, but we have to find out, and we know that these are two different entities that we are talking about. You understand? The ancestor with breath, it's just like when they say You see, that's why these people use that word when they say Jesus died for our sin, and because he have died and everything. You understand? Because he have died and God.
I was about to say that, you know. I was about to say that. I go, doesn't that sound familiar?
Yeah, man. So this is how they steal most of our things, but they give us the wrong ones, and we pick up what they have given us, and the true self, which was the African deity, was there. You understand? Which is the one that we should be using. You understand? That is my own little research which I went to, but you have just confirmed it now. As I say, you got again what you call Amana. If I'm calling it Amana. Amana is the one which they use when they said Amen in Christian what? Yeah, man. You know? So Amana is one of the God again, the all-powerful one even of the earth. That's why quickly we can say Amen, Amen. But that Amen we're saying, it looks like we're just saying, it's okay, Amen. No, this is a God. But they give us the wrong pronunciation, the wrong things to say about him.
Listen, one of the things, and the beauty of it is that, right, let me tell you something now. You see the scriptures, I call them words of prophets, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So therefore, these are the inscriptions or supposed words, inscriptions, whether they be fiction or they be literal. But what you'll find is that oh great, I'm joined by our sister Sandra here, right? What you'll find is that you'll get those words, right, of Proverbs, right? Not necessarily the book of Proverbs, but Proverbs words, yeah. And what you'll find is that there's always a relation to a African proverb, or story or something. There's always a relation to it. And remember now, you know, that Europe and Britain was introduced to those types of proverbs through a version of the King James, right? So in other words, he could have just said, you know what, I'm going to make up my own story. Okay. And unfortunately for him, unlike when he was around, we all know how to read and write now. Right? So therefore, his thing has become unraveled. But the fact is that because we have time and we have documentation, right? And we have also the synergy of the griots, of those who pass those stories one to another, right? That we have documentations of events of those times. We have information of what our energies can actually do for us, right? And I say energies in the sense of our deities, right. So therefore, let's look on this in a sensible manner. We don't have to be tearing down one person or another person. But the fact is, there's always been a congruently thread right through the whole of all of these religions. Yeah?
Oh, yes. And my brother, I'm not touching it there. That is where we say, you know, some time ago, I used to use the word eye-opener. It's not like, man. We have to be eye-opening because when you see something, you go and research, you check that thing to see what was it from our origin, from the African perspective. How was the action when you're doing your research or whatever it is? Anything, try to look. it will show you deeply what it is, and you begin to go deep into the source, where you yourself, just like when I was talking just now, you mentioned, say, yes, he was about to say the same thing about the Jesus, the blood of Jesus, when he go and every other time he was about to repeat the same thing. That's what it is. It rings the bell straight away to you, because this is what normally happened to me as well. When I said that, I said, oh, I see where the source was coming from. You understand? Because it comes deep into inner self, your inner spirit, for you to know these sort of things. But as you have just said, and what the sister was saying, it's a true talk, my brother. Because if you realize we were here at access. So these people not going to come and show us what is who is the supreme, what is supreme, and we was doing them things. We are people who was appearing and disappearing. And up to now you will get them people there who have sort of power within them own self. They can appear and disappear. That is where these people come from, with that sort of magic. It's just that they want to beat us up in order to dumb us into all our psychic power and things that we were having. But unless we try to quiet ourselves and calm ourselves, to begin to go into this again, and then you find out that because we are the one who are connected with what they are trying to steal from us, we have done it for over 400-500 years, or whatever it is, that they make us, some people which some of this data we are left with us, and some of these things we are left with us in the water side, in the gully. But some of us, we left it because we are following this blood of Jesus, and we follow it, and we never see anything. We become a pauper.
Exactly, and this is the one thing that I like about all of this. When you come to the realizations of how we have been duped over the years, right? How we have been subdued over the years. We could get angry about it, but there's no need to get angry about it. Just do what you need to do now and into the future. I would like to welcome our sister Sandra. Welcome, my sister.
Greetings, welcome one and all.
Wow.
Greetings.
You're sounding like you're right here next to me, right?
Welcome, Sister Sandra.
Greetings, Brother Julius.
Yes. All right. Looking well, because I could see you on my screen, you see. So yeah. So yes, and if anybody wants to see and watch what we're doing here, right? You can go onto the Facebook. I'm going to say the Facebook. I'm going to direct people to that. The Facebook, galaxyofthewe.net. Okay, and you can view it live on there. We're broadcasting live on there. Okay, so and you can join that group as well. So there you go. Anyhow,
my brother, before you go forward, I would like you to know, Sister Sandra, that you are having a feedback.
Yeah.
When you're talking like that echoing and it comes back again or whatever. I think there's something.
I think there's two devices somewhere that is that has come alive. Could you mute for a moment, Sister Sandra? Let me. I never see if that resolves the situation. Does that resolve it, my brother?
Yeah, man.
Right. Okay, then I'm going to ask Sister Sandra to go out and come back in, if that's possible, please. Yeah. Okay, then. Right. She's going to do that. She's going to go out and then come back in again to the program. Right. Yes,
my brother.
Wow.
As I was saying, it's a beautiful thing you play, and our people have to digest this. Let us begin to call upon our deity, Shango, Oludumare, Amana. We search all these people, all these higher heights, walls, and everything. And by then, we will begin to see certain things them happening. And we try to understand. As I say, one of the all-powerful one was Lebe, L-E-B-E, which was one of the ancestor. When I check for it, it's called the ancestor. He had to die, and his bones were breaking in order to get us as a human being.
Mhm.
This is the story I come to understand. What is happening here? Yeah, man.
Mhm.
So this is the study that we need to do. We get a lot of them to research and to find out. And I come to know about Amana as well. I know that Amana is what they are using as Amen. It is our own deity, Amana.
Mhm.
Only maybe pronunciation might not be right, but that's how it's called. Amane, something like that.
Mhm. Okay, right. We got that feedback again. I don't know why it's coming back like that. Have you got your volume on your set open, my sister? Hmm? I don't know. No. She's just muted. So I know.
Yeah,
that.
and it come nicely again.
Yeah.
You know.
There's something. There's
Mhm.
something
Well,
that.
what gonna
that's
happen,
right.
my brother?
Mhm.
Let me come up first, and then maybe when she come in again and see what's going on. Okay?
Okay then. Thank you very much, though. Thank you.
Yeah,
Very much.
because that's just what I want to base you on. But I will come in again later. Okay?
Okay then. The door's open.
All right, my brother.
The door's always open. Greetings, Sandra. Sister Sandra. Greetings.
Greetings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a beautiful morning.
Yes, you're getting some record temperatures apparently. Is that right?
Well, with the last 3 days from Tuesday till today,
Mm.
it reminds me of what Portland has been in the past
Mm.
in terms of the rain. So that has broken to some degree some of the temperature and calmed things down. But we've had all those that were saying that we needed rain. The heavens opened, their prayers were answered,
Mm.
and we've had copious amounts of rain,
Mm.
heavy, torrential rain.
Mm-mm. Obviously, the flash floods and everything ensue with that as well, isn't it?
That's the challenge.
Mm.
That is where the challenge lies in terms of the movement, for whether it be the flash floods, whether it be the landslides, and someone was saying something, and I know we have the same challenges in the UK, in so much that in the UK, all those that, or a number of those that have a driveway will pave it over, so then the water doesn't have its natural flow and its natural rhythm. So I was having a conversation with someone here, and it was around the same thing. They were saying that there's a lot more housing developments, and within those housing developments, they take into consideration the need to let go of the wastewater, but also plumbing in water.
Yeah.
But once you've shifted and you've put up those developments, people will then do what they will normally do. If they've got a bit of greenery, they may pave it over so that they've got somewhere to park, somewhere that's their own. So we'll have the same challenges over here as you do in the UK, in so much as the water not having its natural flow because of that thing called concrete.
Oh my gosh. This is one of the ecological problems that they face, because it seems like they don't really put into consideration a lot of these building complexes, right? And like natural water flow, mainly because they have like extensive time of where they have dry periods. So therefore, it's like in the Gambia, for instance. When it's rainy season, it's rainy season, and everybody get wet, right? But there are those spots that are dry, yeah. But yet, when people come to buy land and everything, they will sell them the waterlogged place there, and then they will sit on their dry land and watch the waterlogged people just start to drown. you know, which is like, how could I put it? It's like giving somebody a boat with a hole in it. And helping them push off from the shore with it. Yeah.
But it's, and you'd asked last week in terms of the train and the tracks. So the train tracks, and as far as I know, and I can see from Port Antonio, because we used to have trains that came into Port Antonio, but that would have been during independence, prior to independence, in terms of the British wanting to be able to move their goods from one part of the island to another. So people already living over those train tracks in Port Antonio. In terms of what the government had initially started to do, they had was maintaining the tracks initially, and that was from a bauxite point of view. But then they realized that it was really expensive to do so. So they handed it back over to the bauxite company. Said, well, if you want it, because it's we have no need for it as such. If you want it, you're going to need to maintain it. So the bauxite company maintains a small element of the track. What's not maintained has been pilfered and stolen because it's got scrap metal.
That's brilliant. That is brilliant. So obviously so how much of it leave? How much of the track leave now? Oh dear. How much of that? Then again, they might have taken it and then exported it to China anyhow, because China was really short of those resources, isn't it? And they were taking scrap metal from all over the world.
Well, so what's not been pilfered? So the element of the track that's still working is just literally what the bauxite company are using in order to move the material from one part of the island to another. And the conversation I was having with the person was, will they ever? So again, come independence, there was an opportunity for the Jamaican government to build a bridge. So you could take from, I think it was from Kingston to Westmoreland, that side.
Oh, so they were going to do a super highway.
So they were looking at a super highway. So they had the vision to do so. And at the time, it was something like millions. But the question then that the other either constituents or government or whatever kept on saying is, why do you want to do that? What's the benefit of it? Yada, 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 yada. So this is even before they've done the toll roads that they've put in now, that's currently there. And he was saying that it was visionary in terms of what the anticipation was, but they weren't prepared to see the vision. And now that bird has now flown so far away because they can't afford it now.
Yeah.
So whereas it was like 11 billion, it's going to come into or 1 billion, it's going to come into the close to double figures or trillions. So they don't have the money now. Well, ever have the money. And if they'd built it when they built it, that it could have paid for itself in terms of access and in terms of linking up the transport system.
Well, you know what? They may be rich in their nature, but unfortunately, when it comes to finance now, they're not that rich in them ways. They're not that rich.
And
Yeah.
and that's the thing, because for me, and the question I'll ask our listeners, sometimes we've got some really big, scary, audacious goals,
Mm-hmm.
and we speak to the wrong people who discourage us, tell us 101 reasons why it won't work.
Mm-hmm.
Part of it is they don't have the vision. They weren't meant to carry that torch. So
Mm.
they're doing what they're meant to do. Part of it is that they're going to say they're doing it out of love and they don't want you to hurt yourself.
Mm.
Part of it is fear and or greed, because they don't want you to succeed
Mm.
with that big, audacious, hairy goal. So you then park your goal, you park your dream, you park your what you were aiming to do, wanting to do, like to do,
Mm.
and you box it up and you put it in a corner of the mind that you never touch it again.
Exactly.
And once that's gone, it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
So we all have the big, audacious goals, but don't be conscious of the dream stealers that you have around you,
Mm-hmm.
and treat them with the respect that they deserve, but not necessarily with the respect
But
not necessarily.
Mm-hmm. You know, over the last, I would say, two strongs, that messages like that has been coming to me, like, in various forms. And one of the things that what you have to do when you progress or evolve, you have to learn to let go, right? Things that were, or the ways that we were, we have to learn to let go. And it's the same with that as well, is that you want to progress in your life, you want to start a new business, you want to get yourself balanced. Unfortunately, we hang on to those habits, those persons who have those negative habits, parasitic type people, or even exhibiting the same parasitic type behavior by ourselves, by relying on others to maintain and sustain. But yet you want to change, right? You've got to learn to let go. You have to let go. You have to let go.
You've got to get your feet wet
Mm.
in order to experience that change. You've got to have faith
Mm.
and work in or move in the space of a faith-filled action
Mm-hmm.
in order to achieve your goal and your dream. And like I said, you may be talking to the wrong people who they were never given that mantle. That was never going to be their calling.
Mm.
So they will always be frightened of it.
Mm.
They'll always be scared of it. And the question I'd ask is, how do you then overcome that fear? And how do you break through?
I think it's a case of just realizing that you're in the position to choose which way you want. And it's when you become comfortable with that, then you can make your move. Or even if you become aware of it, that you put yourself in a position that you can make the move. Yeah. It's like harboring for a change that will never come. Hmm? If somebody says no, and they keep saying the no, unless it's to your benefit, do you need a yes? Right? Move on. Move out the way. Get on with your path.
Mm.
You know? You can't be saving everyone and anyone.
Mm.
You know? If they're ready to move with you and to support what you're doing, then they're ready. If they're not, so be it.
Mm.
You know?
Mm.
I know it's harsh because, like, obviously you want, for instance, your family. You know, you would work and work and work, right? And you do overtime and everything, and away from your family and everything, and then all of a sudden your children become teenagers, and they say, "Oh, why are you so wealthy?" And then they're going on demonstrations against what you were built up to maintain and sustain your life, right? Or you hear them talking about, oh, the rich are this and the rich are that, and then they start destroying things, your home or the things that you have provided for them, with a extremely ungrateful attitude, you know. So, like, when these things happen, it can be disheartening.
Mm.
Or something. If that's their energy at the time, let them go. Let them go do what they're doing.
Mm.
But understand that things change because there's consequences of the things that are changing. That they never saw the value of it at the time.
Mm.
You know?
Mm.
So you've got to learn to move and move on. You have to. Hard as it may be, difficult as it may be, but you have to move on.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. But that was a thought that came to me in terms of we do all, whether it be a government minister wanting to say, "Yep, let's make a change in the country," and other ministers saying, "Well, rather than supporting them and seeing the vision of what will happen in the future and how it will benefit millions and how it will increase the productivity, how it will provide employment, how it will open up different parts of the country, how it will connect different parts of the country." And yeah, they were acting like as individuals. You tell it, and sometimes, and you mentioned in terms of, so from a family point of view, it may be a case of you having that conversation with them and looking for their support. They're not going to be your biggest cheerleader. So just be careful who you seek your counsel from.
Exactly. Very appropriate. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because like it's one of those things, is that we always look to say, right, our main thoughts are that those the ones who we love, right? Those who are close to us. But unfortunately, there seems to be a disconnect in that with us, right? And I'm not saying it's with everybody. Because there are those who do work at, and working and doing things and achieving things in unison, together, But then there are those who have been together for years and years and years, and then 20 years down the line, they find that they're heading in two different directions, or there's another agenda on one side than the other, and then obviously, the ensuing probably separation or whatever. But it's one of those things of that. Let's be real about what we are and where we're going. Let's be real about that. And in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with you being upfront and honest about your intentions, right? As long as it's not in a way of taking advantage of others or discrediting others as well,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
Because if you all of a sudden you want to be headlong into a thing, like you want to learn a skill,
Mm.
right? It might not be what your partner would be interested in, but it's going to take the time away. So therefore, you're going to lose that quality time because you're learning this new skill,
Mm.
right? And then even after you learnt that skill, it does not mean that your partner is going to be in agreement with what you're doing,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
So
Mm.
therefore, but at least you would say, look, this is what I would like to do. This is what I would do. So therefore, you know, I'm putting the time in to do this, to learn this skill. Yeah.
Well, it is that thought process that we're not all given the same vision.
Mm-hmm.
So within that, they may not see, understand, appreciate what it is that you're aiming to achieve at that moment in time.
Mm-hmm.
And as a result, they just don't get it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But don't let that stop you from taking your faith-filled actions.
Mm-hmm. Very much so. Anyhow, so what's happening for you now, my sister? What's happening for you apart from your obvious code that you have at the moment?
Well, it's just for me just to kick that into touch, but then also just to continue with the work that I am doing, just to finish off my book,
Mm-hmm.
and then also to create some toolkits that can help individuals who do. So they've been created, and it's just to get it out there. The toolkits
Okay.
that individuals can use on their own, so they don't necessarily need me, but they can go through it and see whether or not it helps them.
Could you enlighten us? I know you talk about toolkits, right? Could you enlighten us as to what the programs are?
So one of the programs that's already out there and up is on a monthly 30-day journey. And within that 30-day journey, the tools that we will go through and we will discuss will help you as an individual to think about forgiveness. Think about, and we were just talking just now in terms of having that big, audacious, hairy goal. Think about what is that you want, what is it you really, really want, and allow you the space and the time to be selfish and look at what you want for yourself. So within that time, you get an opportunity, like I said, to think about forgiveness, think about your goals, think about having some daily disciplines, thinking about you are. Sometimes we allow others to talk us in or out, or we don't live our best possible life because we allow what others say to impact or affect our decisions. And within that 30-day journey, you get an opportunity of looking at how you will, tools that you can use going forward that can impact and or influence the decisions that you're making.
Mm, mm,
Tools that you can use to level up. Tools that you can use, and I've spoken about some of them before in terms of we've done little like excerpts. So it's in terms of recognizing, and for me, there's sometimes we've got we've got principles, but we don't know how that principle can apply to us and the journey then that we are taking. And it helps you to unpack those principles, understand it on a different level, whereby you can aim to live your best possible life.
Mm. Mhm.
Aim to where you think about, okay, I am where I am now. Does it mean to be where? Does that mean that's where I'm going to be indefinitely?
Mm.
And the quick answer to that is no, unless you don't want to.
Mhm. Mhm. I put up your website for those who are interested to contact you, right? So it says Sandra, www.sandra at mindsoulsupport. That's mindsoulsupport, or one word, .com. Okay, so you can
Mm.
get in contact with our sister Sandra if you're interested in that.
Mm.
Is that the same? No, that's not the same for your website, though, is it?
No, that's the same for the website. That's the Sandra at mindsoulsupport.com. Yeah, website is www. That's
Yeah?
the website details.
Okay then. Okay then. Right. So you can check those out, those courses out there. What our
Mm.
sister Sandra is facilitating
Mm.
there on that website there. So it's www.sandra at mindsoulsupport.com. Right.
Mm.
That
Mm.
is Mind Soul Support.
Mm.
Okay. Right. So you
Mm.
can go and check that out if you wish to, and share it amongst other people as well, because
Mm.
once you reap the benefits, you must share. All right.
Yes, yes, most definitely,
All right.
most definitely.
Definitely. Definitely. Anyhow, so we're moving nicely into the afternoon here in our old Blighty, right? And I know so that you're just coming into the daytime, for yourself over
Yeah,
there. It's jam,
morning is just broken.
yeah, in a jam, but still, you know.
Hmm.
So the heat isn't on yet.
No, no. And to
Yeah.
be fair, even with the rain,
Mm,
um, the heat is still expected to be around your 29, 30,
wow.
31.
Mm.
So
We
the rain has calmed it down.
well, all I know that the sun is trying to burn the heart out of Europe, right?
Mm,
Not
mm,
that they don't deserve it, but still, it's
mm,
trying to burn the heart out of Europe,
mm,
uh, and they're having like a record levels of heat at this
mm,
particular time, right?
mm,
So so obviously it's going to be affecting their eco system over there,
mm,
right?
mm,
I know that you've experienced a dry period, an extensive dry period, and I know like right now it may be raining here, there, and everything there, but have they reported how it has aided in returning the water levels, um, and how the ecosystem over there
Well,
as well?
it's about to rain again. Beautiful. Um, so they've not mentioned, well, they're not mentioning in terms of the timing. So in the past, back
Mm,
end of or the beginning of the year, they were talking about, or April, they were talking about, especially in town and St Andrews,
mm,
Kingston and St Andrews in the corporate area, that there'd be certain times when the water would be on and certain times when the water would be off.
mm, mm,
Um, so they've not mentioned that. I've not heard them mention that of late. It
mm, mm,
appears that things are coming back to, but even when you look at the rivers and the streams and you're thinking, okay, you're traveling and you look down at Rio Grande and you think, I remember back in the day where I couldn't see any of the big stones,
mm, 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 mm,
and you
mm.
can see the big stones. So as much as we're getting water, are we getting enough?
Yeah,
No.
yeah. But it does take a few days for it to go through the ecosystem, though, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So it's not a case of that. Oh, you're going to see rain, and then all of a sudden the water going to flush.
Mm,
Right. So it's
mm,
like a pumping system, you
mm,
know. So
mm,
yes, it does go through the earth, and then it springs back up and everything else, you know. So you might get it like 7 days later or something.
Well, I'm always curious. So I know then that when I was here this time last year, and looking at the river, and it was very, very dry. So now looking at it, it's not as dry, but you can see there's more water flowing. But you can still, like I said, if I go back historically and think about when I came here back in the day or over the years, there isn't there isn't that much. The water levels are going down.
Yeah. I'm not, these are the things of nature. You know, these are the things of nature. Even though they have introduced the fracking thing as well, so that would break the water table line, even with that alone. You know, so it's going to be affecting everybody over there. You know the fracking, the underground mining and all.
Yeah.
So you know, and obviously they're not advertising it because they know that it will cause probably an disruption in with all the locals there as well, you know. But you know what? That's how they treat them. They treat them as a sacrifice. So that's how them go on. Yeah, that's how them go on.
Yeah. It's I was going to say the word, was it indispensable? Yeah. So there will be individuals who, for good reasons or not, they will be looking for the minerals. In order to get the minerals, what are they doing to the communities?
Yep, and that is just it. They have no qualms. I don't know if you recall Avatar, that film there, right? And like what they were doing, they were strip mining the whole of the environment there, and they said, forget about what they're saying about their spiritual tree and everything. And then obviously it came down to the last tree before you know they realized what was going on, what they did, you know. But you know what? That is how some of the systems are in this world, right? They probably even say that, well, it wasn't your land in the first place, so therefore we can do the hell what we like with it. We sell it off or whatever. Yeah.
Well, is it the case that it wasn't your land in the first place, or is it a case that we've got you over a barrel because you owe us money, and in owing us money we can have some say in terms of how you operate?
Very, very true. Very, very, very true. Yes. There is that element to it, and you know that all these political games are played strategically, anyhow. Especially when it comes to things like that. Yeah? All right. I know.
So the other thing that I was looking at over the weekend, and I thought to myself, wow, didn't appreciate it, and then I heard on the radio them speaking about the same thing, and that's in terms of the shortage. So we've got holiday here. Holiday has already started over 4 weeks ago. But the schools are frightened or concerned in terms of what the new term will look like come September, because they know that there are a large percentage of teachers who will be taking up posts in the Americas, in the Canada, and in the UK.
Wow.
So some of the plans that they're doing in terms of the schools and what's left. So then one way that they looked at it is that, well, it's not so bad because you've got, say, 300 teachers coming out of teacher training college.
Mhm.
The challenge that you have is that not all those teachers will go into teaching. B, you're then getting those who have not necessarily learnt their craft in the classroom, but learnt their craft via the books, coming
Mhm.
into a classroom and not having that experience as some of the teachers who are now up and going. So they quickly recognize that we can't say if 300 teachers we're going to lose and we're going to get 300 from the new recruits. They recognize the maths aren't that simple.
Mhm.
So some of the things that they're talking about is increased class size.
Well, obviously, if there's a reduction in staffing,
Mm,
and the pupils are remaining the same, of course, there's going to be increasing school classes.
mm,
We went through a crisis like that over here in the UK, and I think the largest class that I attended, it was like 50 plus,
okay,
50 plus students in one class. You know,
okay,
hot,
okay.
hot. I think I think because there were so many of us in there and it was so hot, that's why there was no trouble. Yeah, yeah. So, but you could see it was like a handful, and it's only through the dignity of the us as students that the teacher was able to actually get through the lessons.
Mm,
Because like if you get 5 or 6 of us start play up in that place
mm,
there, then
mm.
that's going to affect the whole of the
Cold,
class.
yeah,
Yeah, and then to
yeah.
try to regain that back again. You know,
Mm.
yeah, we went through it for a few years.
But
Basically.
that's an advantage of having an experienced teacher that knows how to or
Mhm.
what to provide from a services point of view, from a learning point of view, from a keeping the engagement point of view.
Mhm. Mhm.
The other thing then they're talking about in terms of the schools, which we've already done in the UK,
Mhm.
was doing the various tests at um, 11, so you know what stream you're in.
Mhm.
And they've done a lot of that in the UK, and they're using Ofsted and using those officialdoms as an excuse to say, yes, we need to know where the children are and their
Mhm.
standards and their capabilities. But in doing it in the UK, has it worked? As a parent, will you know what's a good school and what's a bad school without having to put your child through it? And I was having an interesting conversation with someone the other day, and they said that every single year when it comes to that point of time in the school calendar, their
Mhm.
child is never in school because they don't see the benefit of.
Wow.
They
Wow.
don't. They don't. They don't
So,
appreciate
so basically,
or recognize.
they've opted out already.
Yeah,
Mm.
and within Jamaica, they're looking to implement something very similar that can justify which is the better school, but also the children's attainment. So again, the person on the radio was saying, but we don't need that.
Mm.
You're bringing in a system that's not needed in order to tell you which is a good school and which is a bad school.
Mhm.
What's wrong with the methods that we have at the moment?
Mhm.
I'm not sure whether or not they're following a standard, quote
What's that?
unquote,
And the curriculum.
yeah, or whether
Mhm.
or not they're towing their path from
Mhm.
an education point of view, which effectively says when the children come out of school in Jamaica, can they stand side by side with children of similar ages, whether they be in America, Canada, and or the UK?
This one of the things I'm seeing over there as well, because of like obviously teaching standards and everything, and it's still charge it. They still charge as well. for a certain education over there. And obviously, it's not in the reach of every parent, that can afford to have those. Have you come across any children that do any homeschooling?
So I've not come across any myself, and I'm just thinking in terms of um, all the adults and or young people that I'm meeting and the
Mhm.
conversations. I've not actually heard that conversation, so I don't know whether or not if I was in Kingston it would be more
Yeah.
apparent, or different parts of Jamaica it's more apparent.
Mhm.
I know some of the conversations that have been had in terms of why doesn't little A go to school? He can't read all right. That we've tried with him
Mhm.
and he can't get it, so he just drops out of school. And I'm thinking to myself, well, if that child had been brought up in America, Canada, or the UK,
Mhm.
would that have been the same option? Would they have given up so quickly? Because
Mhm.
now that child is going to be always be on the back foot,
Mhm. Mhm.
always be on the back foot in terms of their abilities. Um, so I didn't see that they were more into the agriculture, or they were more into the this or more into the that.
Mhm.
Effectively, what the younger brother was saying is that, well, we've tried. Um, he can't read, can't retain it, doesn't get it. I've even gone through and sat down with him and gone through the lessons because it's a younger sibling,
Mhm.
so they're obviously going through the basics with their elder sibling, and
Mhm.
just saying, well, the elder sibling just doesn't get it. So they're yeah, they're and when they were talking, I thought to myself, yeah, this is someone who's been discarded
Mhm.
because they can't do it. But like I said, would they have been discarded in the same way had it been in the UK? Possibly, possibly not.
we we'd like to think not, yeah.
Mm,
but
yes.
but in reality, you just put them in a quiet. They stay quiet. Stay quiet in the corner, and then we'll deal with you later on. Yeah, because like there's too many of our young to go through the school system, right? And they do struggle. They do struggle to actually read mathematics, you know, and this is just on life skills, you know. So
Well, we recognise, and you could always look at um, individuals throughout history who've not gone through the schooling, but have come out the other end and have done great things for themselves, their family, and or community. Um, and my thought is, how were they caught?
mm,
What support networks did they have around them,
mm, mm,
whereby they were then able to find their passion and live their purpose,
mm,
even though they're being discarded by the education system.
mm. Yeah, yeah, but as I say, it's not everybody. It's not everybody's going to be caught in that net.
Mm, mm,
Such, so, but it does happen. It does happen,
mm,
right? I was actually, it was, when was it? Yesterday during prior to the show, and it was one of those questions that came up in mind. I don't know if I still got it here, but I was looking up the literacy, right?
mm.
Um, I don't know if I still got it, but I'll see if I still got it somewhere. Right. Hold on. No, that's in a different thing there. I was looking up the literacy of the Africa, right?
Mm.
It literally, like, what was the best, from the best to the low to the least, and then obviously the answer that was given, I immediately questioned, and the reason why I questioned it is because it was based upon obviously the English language,
Mm.
right?
Mm. Mm.
So all these youngs, they could probably be fluent in their own dialect or native tongue,
Mm.
right? And be able to write and read and write in their own language,
Mm.
because it was based on a British system. That is what they were basing it upon.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
which I
Mm.
felt wrong. I felt that was wrong or inaccurate.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah, but
Yeah, you'll get a different result if they were prepared to
yeah,
consider and or contemplate that if English isn't their first language,
mm,
but they're having to translate it and then come up with an answer to satisfy you, then for me that's actually a genius, because they're doing the mental maths,
yeah,
the mental translation, and coming up with an answer. So the fact that they didn't do it in 5 seconds and it took them 10, they're still geniuses because they're speaking more than one language.
exactly. So like in many ways, I was kind of like wondering, why is it that they don't actually look at what was actually there as a real education level.
Mm.
Yeah, because as you know, there's been inventors, there has been like scholars who don't use like English or any of the European countries' languages,
Mm.
right? And they have been extremely successful in their own right.
Mm. Mm.
So
Mm.
in that way, there, I feel that it was wrong of them to actually use that as a measure. But then again, that is what most of the system does.
Mm.
That's what most of the systems does.
Mm.
Yeah, so so I wouldn't quite dismiss that person like that. I wouldn't quite dismiss him, because you never know. You could probably take him to the African continent and you'll pick up a language within a month.
Mm. Mm.
It's only because in tune with him,
Mm.
And we're joined by who we got? Brother Kwame. Greetings, brother. Greetings, brother.
Yeah. I would like Sandra to investigate whether that young man is dyslexic.
Uh-huh.
So that could be the reason why he just don't get it.
Mm-hmm. Hold on.
And
just coming back.
It really needs someone to give him a one-to-one and help him with it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that was one of the reasons why I said if he was in the UK, would he have been let loose so easily and so quickly? Because I think that they would have considered why. And they may have, depending on which borough, which support from a point of view, whether or not it was, like you say, dyslexia, or whether or not there's some other hidden something there that if they can correct that or put that in place, they would be able to learn.
Yeah.
Because I saw something similar when I was in Gambia around 4 or 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
This young lady her younger cousin,
Mm-hmm.
was able to read, and she wasn't able to, and no matter how you show her,
Mm-hmm.
just didn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was told that teacher worked with her, and she, at the last time I spoke, that she said she wanted to be a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about someone being able to work with that person, young man, one-to-one,
Mm. And that's the thing that I recognized. And when the younger brother was talking, and when we were talking, the colonel was there, and we were just, why is he not at school? And it would have been beautiful if just they had the one-to-one. So I don't know whether or not they had it, tried it, it didn't work, or whether or not they hadn't incorporated it. I don't know what the situation is, but it was just a shame that and the child must have been about, well, they must have been, they were probably about 9, 10, but they'd stopped going to school for at least a year more. So it's just a shame that they've not been given that opportunity, just to see whether or not. And I don't know what the choices are within the schooling system in terms of the support and the tests that they can do, and whether or not you do have dyslexic, or whether or not you do have another learning on the spectrum, so you need additional support. I don't know whether or not you do have the teachers that can do that. So as I was speaking,
Is he someone that could still, or is all over the place?
sorry, say that again.
I said, is he someone that like sits still, or is all over the place?
His attention state still.
So from what I could see, they were all over the place. From what I could see.
Okay.
And the way that they were conversing with their younger sibling, and the way that they were smiling and joking and laughing, and almost as if to say, yep, they've given school a try, yada yada, and it's just not for them, and they're happy not going to school, and they're doing the chores and all the work in terms of going out in the morning, getting the water, etc., etc. So from what I could see, they weren't sitting still.
Mm-hmm. He wasn't being idle or anything like that.
No.
He was being functional. Say that. Can you repeat that again, brother?
I said, my second daughter, she has dyspraxia.
Mm-hmm.
And like when she was in primary school, she used to like disrupt the class, but now I think she's got more under control.
Mm. Yeah.
So that's always a challenge, like I said, in terms of what support can they put in place. So that means, I know even with someone, her daughter is a teacher, and she says that her daughter will often turn up and put things in place over the Saturdays and Sundays in order to support the children. So the teachers do a lot more, but there's only so much that they can do.
Yeah.
So the teachers in any profession, the ones that do care, they're going above and beyond the call of duty, quote unquote. But there's only so much that they can do. And I must ask her whether or not her daughter would be able to, whether or not there's anything that they can do in terms of working with any child that's on that spectrum.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because like obviously these.
And is that something that they're very much aware of in Jamaica? Dyslexia, dyspraxia, those kind of things.
I would have thought.
I would, yeah. Dyslexia, yeah. Dyspraxia, and or the spectrum. I would have thought so as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have thought they would have. It's only if they have the specialist help to actually guide them through that, you know. And then is it going to be a monetary guide help, or is it going to be a government backed one as well? So yeah, I would have thought, because like let's say each area, like even in the Africas, they recognize, you know, disabilities and things like this. So when it comes to schooling, they have put in place, you know, like facilities for those specialist training, schools for disabilities as well. And so, you know, I would have thought that Jamaica would be on top of this anyway. It's only like, as I say, you know, like where most schools cost a financial commitment towards schools. So that would be the hindrance. The only hindrance that I would envisage would be there, right? That. Any other thing else, Brother Kwame?
Anyway, I gotta go, yeah?
Okay then. Yeah, that's our Brother Kwame there. All right. You'll come back?
Yeah. And it was something that I had considered, but I recognise that I need to ask the principal and just to get an indication. So I know that come September, I'll be having a conversation with the principal in terms of supporting the children or supporting some of the children. So that'd be part of my conversation. What happens to those who aren't the most gifted and talented?
Because you mentioned before about supporting the school. Is this part of the school that you was talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I see the connection.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Yeah. That would be good. That would be good to have a program that would help that young man there through. You never know. He might end up being Prime Minister.
Well, sometimes to be fair, I think in the UK you often look at those in politics and recognise they've all gone through the same medication system, and they're all, or majority of them, gone through the same medication system. And in Jamaica it's the same. A lot of those who are in politics are former, I was going to say judges, but legal, the former lawyers, and all part of that profession. So they've previously been a lawyer or a doctor. I don't think there are any teachers. I could be wrong, but they've all got a professional head on, and then gone into politics afterwards.
Let me tell you something now. Marcus Garvey moved the world. He weren't no teacher, although he did. Went and opened his own newspaper, innit? Right, and he done his apprenticeship as a in the printing business. But from humble beginnings, my sister, you know. So never say never.
No, that's the one thing I am not saying never. I'm just saying that some individuals are caught. I'm not sure why. I'll use Marcus Garvey and or others. I don't know why they were caught and their circumstances, because we often only see the end of the game. We don't often see the beginning of the game as to what they went through and the trials and the tribulations, and hearing how they'd been written off or not supported by their family and or teachers and or whatever. So yeah, I'm not writing him off. Definitely wouldn't write him off.
What's his age? What is his age? What's the young man's age?
The young man's around 9.
Oh, 9. Okay.
Yeah. So he's still young enough in order to make an impact and make a difference.
Make an influence, yes.
Mm.
Definitely. And the thing is, it's all what I find with that is it is literally a case of like finding a system that works for them. Finding something that works for them. Because I've worked with many a mechanic, brilliant mechanic, right? But only when it came to them writing up their reports, that was like a different language in itself. You know? So obviously when it come to like they could do it on the computer, right? But to actually write it by hand, no, forget that. Forget that. And they could beat me on every computer game out there as well. They could beat me on that, no problem whatsoever. So, you know, their skills are each person have their own skills, and then the way how they enhance it, you know. So, yeah, man. Oh boy, I tell you. Actually, I was smiling because there was one young man. We was out testing a vehicle one time, and the police stopped us, right? Because obviously we was doing some testing in our way, and the police stopped us. And then I could hear them asking him questions, and then he said, "Oh, I'm dyslexic." Right? And I looked around at him and I'm going, no wonder you. This man had the worst handwriting I ever seen. But obviously he never told anybody or told the majority of us what it was. Yeah, but like when he said it, just all of a sudden everything just clicked.
Penny dropped.
Yeah. The thing is, I think his mother, she was a headmistress, and the father, he was the craft teacher, like the metalwork,
woodwork
teacher and all that, in the same school, you know. So obviously, you know, that his thing was cars. He loved cars. You know, hence he ended up in a profession like what he did. But I was thinking, well, boy, he's done very well then, you know, for having that little hindrance there. Yeah. So anyhow, that's young Mark, man. Young Mark, brilliant young man. Anyhow, you know. But I let's say whenever I've come across things like that, I don't see it as a hindrance as such, unless it's something dangerous, you know. But like work within their capabilities. Even if they say, "Oh, let me try," even better still, you know. And you know, you'll guide them through, and then like, you know, little habits, and then build it up. You know, as I say, I've worked with a few people like that. Like they'll be halfway through a job and then they totally forget what they were doing, you know. And then you come along, and then it's basically a box full of bits, and then you've got to put it all back together, type of thing, you know. You know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Just get on with it. You know, get on with it. So. Yeah. So we won't dismiss this young man, and hopefully we'll get to know him better as time goes on. And see what we can do to help in any way. With this young
Most
man.
definitely.
Yeah. There
Most
you go.
definitely.
Right. So we're here on. Oh, hold on. I got a caller here. Just almost missed that one. I should leave that up a little bit. Greetings, our brother Julius.
So my brother. Yeah, man. I was just Annie. Yeah, man. How are you? And how is my sister there?
She's looking hot. She's not
Hello?
part-time bothered. But
Seems to go. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, it seems to go. The volume seems to go.
Is the volume going?
Yeah, like I don't seem to hear you when I was saying responding. Anyway, are you getting me clearly?
Yes, I am. Yes, we are.
Yeah, you have come louder now.
Yes.
Because I was ringing before, the phone was just ringing. I thought maybe
No. What
it's
happened?
okay.
I wasn't looking on the screen at the time. That's all that was.
All right then. Okay then.
Okay, so that was.
Yeah, my brother, I know. Well, really, I was in and out of this, but I heard my sister talk about something that got to do with education.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You see, what I picked up in this kind of situation now, you see, according to the human rights law, everybody is entitled to an education. We have to educate. We have to read the book. We have to read the paper. It's nothing we have to talk about monetary business. It's because these people went and steal all our documents and everything they steal, they want to make money out of it. You see, when they steal things from us, it's for profiteering. They make money out of these things. Oh yes, my brother, this is what is happening. We shouldn't be trying to pay to send our children to school and all this sort of, but in the system we they try to take into some. You got some countries them where you do like almost this free education. Maybe place like even in Russia, they might have got a little bit of free education there and so on. We should be having this until even we go if we want to go to university, because this is the reason why some other individual acquit than the others. Now, when they are looking into that situation, it happened that in this country, they're trying to see how they can, even like in America, yeah, they were fighting against that, how they have to squash that, the fee, what they call, I think it's like a kind of, what is it, this scholarship thing or whatever it is, which you will, I mean, you have to pay when you start working again and all this sort of things, right? Yeah, but these people, they are cheating us. They are cheating the human being, the human right. Everyone is entitled to an education, and it should be free of that education. You know, except we want to do whatever we want to go and do it with it. If they don't bring this monetary thing into it, which is keeping some of us down. But with them, right? As they want to do it again in another way. You see, all these people like monetary business. I was listening to them as well in the other session, which I think Brother Icon bring up that. Like, even for our own doctors and nurses, which we have learned how to kind of applicate themselves into the doctrine and lawyer and all these sort of things. Then when they come here, it's like they have to pay certain fee in order to help to pay who you call the doctors and the nurses here. So these people are rip off Britain, rip off Europe, rip off America. They shouldn't be doing it to that, and we shouldn't be copying them things. And then we come and go because we copy too much from these people, my brother.
Well, the thing is, my brother, right? Just like what you're saying, a lot of these schooling systems is a business. The college system is a business, right? Yeah. It's not the fact that they're providing an education for, right? Some of them are offering, right, education, qualification, and then employment. Yeah. And when you go through the whole of the education system, right? And I know that America has this quite often, that you go and do their education system, which costs a good amount of money, right? Yeah. And then when it comes to you say, okay, then let me get some employment. Then let me get some clients and things like this. All of a sudden, there's no clients. Yeah. Right. They're not paying the fees which you have agreed to in the first place, right? Yeah. Or the contracted fees. They want it at a reduced rate, which in effect puts you on minimum amount.
Of course, yes.
You understand? Yeah. Right? So in that way there, well, as you say, it's a scam, right? The thing is that so many of us will fall for that, mainly because obviously we want to have that independency. We would love to have that independency. Some of us come late in life and we say, look, I want to learn a skill, right? Like even now, for instance, some of us are finding it financially challenging, right? So we will go and reskill ourselves or learn a new skill, right? But the fact is that even if we learn that skill, there's no guarantee of the work and the success which the job that we're actually training for, right? It's like putting a bet down on a horse, right? The horse might run, but it doesn't mean that he's going to win.
Yeah. Yes, my brother. As you have said that, right? That's why, if you find out which was happening, it's happening in Africa. It's happening. It was happening to us. We were having what you call just like backyard, right? When you was having those metal industrial people, what happened? We are creative and skillful people. We know how to beat panel. We know how to make cars. Look, there is a lady who come from backyard. One of them days, yeah. Yeah, man, I picked the lady over because she's close to one, right? And she's having a mobile phone. And that mobile phone, when you're in a Wi-Fi section, any Wi-Fi, that phone can work. Without even without even having a SIM card in it. You understand what I mean? Right. I pick one of my sister today who come from the US. She want to make a call to one, and she can't make that phone. She had to call the them in America there and whatever it is because she was waiting for me. And I pick her up, and she had to go and with them because when she come here, they want to scam her that she had to pay £25 for the SIM card. And she said, "No, ma'am, me not pay that money." You understand? So she called and the America there and everything. They put her on the roaming and they qualify her because she never tell them before she called so that she can get to use the WhatsApp. Yeah. So I'm giving you two different things. One, I'm giving you one backyard in Jamaica. The people that, person can, you understand them kind of thing, video say to you. Yeah. Start a SIM card and go to the, you pick up something. I just want to entangle that word I'm trying to say. You understand? Yeah, man, you pick up something. The other one need a SIM card, even though she thought that she would have easily called with her WhatsApp. You understand? Unless you go on a Wi-Fi section or whatever it is, but just call, but she can't make that call or whatever it is. I think she said she tried to use the Wi-Fi one and she lost it or whatever it is. But I'm just trying to show you something that we are skillful person. We are creative person. Why if we get all this knowledge, this initiative, why can't we go, like even when you talk about the holistic doctors and everything, not only to come and heal me up, but let us get students them inside our classroom. We show them what to do in order without us seeing what we can do to create and get an information. We show them what to do to beat every lead and what that lead. You know, make it written in book and study so that all of us know these things, and it should be for the Africans alone. Because when the people handle what we have, they're stealing it, they make it for their own, and they find money. They're doing it right now, even if you go to YouTube. They will tell you if you have to pay certain money, and then they will pass that information from you, where they get from Mama Africa.
Let me tell you something now. There are so many scams going on. And I say scams. They call it like, get rich quick schemes and all them things there. It's not a get rich scheme, it's a scam. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Education is one of the biggest scam out there. The biggest scam out there. Because a lot of the information is there readily online, right? It's only that you are lazy to go and find out for yourself that you're paying those big fees and things like this, right? How to set up a business, and all these empty promises of, you can get over £10,000 a month for all them foolishness there. Yeah.
Yes,
it's called a Ponzi scheme. Ponzi schemes, right? Investment and all them things there. right? Man,
Yeah.
man driving up in big car and playing and all them foolishness there, right?
Greedy.
Let me-
My brother,
let me-
I will come up with this again. Sorry to cut you there, because this is a point you just bring. You see, if we can stop, if we say we want to move forward, because this is the kind of thing with Galaxy are portrayed. That is the brainwashing station. One teach one, you understand, Ubuntu, because of you I am, because I am you are, and each one teaches one, right? You hear when that our dad there and everything, what's the name?
LBC.
Who normally listen, no, the one who normally listen and call the station at times. I forgot his name. I mean, most of you normally big up him. Our dad from Jamaica there, the old man. Who lost his wife recently.
Russell Shane.
No, the one who lost his wife, the big man.
Oh.
Is the old man. I don't want to use that word there because we don't take nobody home.
Herakuti.
No, not Eric Kuti. The one who lost his wife just now.
That.
Oh yeah, the man normally is a listener. He normally calls Galaxy and
Elder Beckford.
Elder Bedford. Yeah, when he normally say, boy, he can't go to university again because Galaxy is a university. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And he's not the only one.
Yeah.
I've met young men them before who said to me, say, boy, my brain was a bit locked. Yeah, this was about 10 years or 5 years ago. Me and the brother meet just by Catford. And he said, boy, my brain was a bit locked. He said, but when I start dealing with the Galaxy, I'm listening to Galaxy. He said, like, I have to go to university again and master all them paper there and all them Galaxy. Yes, my brother. You understand? This is what we are. We can pass it to one another.
Yeah.
People will be kind of, we got what they call photographic brain.
Yeah.
We can pick up the them and we'll work with it. But we shouldn't be greedy and go try to make money out of it. If we do that, Africa and us will recover faster because we don't have to bring money to the whole thing. The only thing we have to bring, we want our place to sleep. That's why the government and the people of Africa should get the place that we have to sleep. We want light, we want water and everything. Education should be free. We can get our agricultural farm, we go and plant all our crops and everything. We leave that money business them alone. You will see America and Britain and the rest of Europe will go poor. Because we don't get our people then to come and study their crap. And when they study their crap, it's nonsense. Because it's us that take it from, my brother. We get a lot that we haven't even given out yet, my brother. We get a lot. Look when my brother traveled to South Africa. Look like how that lady was talking about spiritually and talking and all the initiatives that we come. Backyard, you get people that move, the whole system want to exploit. You understand? Because it's like they get too much there. Because you know, when they talk about backyard, it's Barbados, St. Lucia, going down to Jamaica, because not only Jamaica, all these islands here. You got people them because when they were rooting all them philosophic people them, the people them who know about God, about panel beating, about the medical thing or whatever it is, which they bring here to come and open this society here. All these people is from their gene them, their children are there. They get the knowledge, they get things there. It's just to explore there. So why do we need them people here? Why we need to come to their university? Where they took it from, and we got it in our brain, my brethren.
You see, yes, that this is the thing that we are fighting against continuously, right? Our education system from where we stand, and let's take it from our own humanitarian perspective here on the Galaxy. Every person should have education. Every person, right? Not one of us should be missing out. If there's a difficulty, each one teach one.
Yeah, man.
Each one teach one. Yeah. Just like you see what Sister Sandra is doing there, and we was talking about this some months ago that she wanted to do this. like sponsor some children and things like this. But she wants to do it in a area that she resides in, right? So she's highlighting the school near to where she lives there, right? Like with the Black Fathers Support Group, we've built a school there along with contributions of the community, right? And we have this school, and it's been up and running for over 10 years now, right? 10 years. So that we've had over 1,000 students go through that school, right, to go into the senior school, right? So that, and what previously or prior to that 1,000 students probably would never had that education to go into the senior school, so they would have missed out completely in that way there, right? So therefore, we can do what we can do. We do what we can do, and even if we see a neighbor there struggling, if we see a neighbor there, like a young boy there or a young woman there, and boy, examination time come, pressure upon them, just sit down, for a few hours with them and make sure that they understand what they're actually trying to learn, right? Yeah. Because you can't do it by yourself all the time, and it's not always the parent who is able to actually guide them through that. You understand? Yes. Right. Yes. We must learn to exhibit the ethos of Ubuntu. We must get active with that. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Each one teach one, and that's it. Yeah. Right here, Sister Sandra, coming ahead.
No, I agree with you from a education point of view. Sometimes we need to be mindful, though, that what we're being taught. So it's beautiful to have not just the education system that's been instilled via the curriculum, and it's having that outside education information that as individuals we need when we're moving forward, or does help us to move forward, so that we can take on the challenges that life will put in our way. Sometimes the education system as it stands may dampen the enthusiasm because you don't see yourself in that education spectrum. So I would say education, yes, but we also need, as a community and as an individual, just to have those conversations, like you say, from a Ubuntu standpoint. So we do, and we are prepared to fill in the gaps, because there are lots of gaps within the current education system.
And it is absolutely vital, because one of the things that I admired about the Muslim faith, right? Every child or every person on there reads the Quran, right? That is one of the fundamentals of that, right? So that they have an understanding and they have the basic foundation of reading, right? Obviously, expand from reading, you can learn anything. If you can read, you can learn anything, yeah? Because the information is out there, yeah? If you want to be taught a skill, then obviously you would find a teacher, a mentor, or go to an institute to find out, to go and do that further education, right? But there's nothing stopping you from actually picking up a book and finding out the information, right? I'll tell you who's a brilliant exponent of that, right? Or two of them, and one of them suffers with dyslexia very badly, right? Richard Branson, right, who suffers from dyslexia, right? And also Elon Musk, right? And what they are self-taught, both of them. right?
Yeah.
And all they've done is they've learned about something, but what they've done, they put people in place to do the work for them.
Yes, come on, my brother.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what they done.
Yeah.
They put people in place to do the work. Yeah. So they,
My brother, yes, sorry about that. I see what you're saying. But look, let's look into what you call a system. We get this so-called democratic system them in America, and everything. We get what they call the socialist system. We get what they call the communist system, and so on. But let me tell you, you go to I think it's South Korea, where you have this Pyongyang boy, and so on. Everybody is educated in that place. They go to free school and all this sort of thing, because this is what you call human rights. Right? They give everyone. You go to Russia as well. Everyone is educated, going to schools and everything and so on. Right? Don't try to gun down these nation of people like what they did to Africa and share it like a piece of cake, right? Because all of them pick this same ideology and say, which was a communist. You understand? When they talk about communist, we know we talk about community. You understand? So them try to elaborate it in another way and make it so bad. Because everything that is good, the people try, this is the game they play. They destroy it and put some bad label on it, that when you heard about it, you say, no, man, I don't want to go to that socialist. No, man, I don't want to go to Russia. No, man, I don't want to go to Korea. Them people are bad. This is what them people are doing. You understand? Yeah, that's why them people can stand for their rights, them in them places there. Because they make even Cuba. You remember they used to destroy Cuba so bad in the West.
They have the most qualified doctors in the world.
You see? Yeah, man. This is what I'm trying to say. Because of this system which they are rogue, they are thief, and they extend it to the country the way they are colonized, yeah? Of course, like in places like Sierra Leone, they used to get what you call free education there. I can assure you that. Children were going to school from class 1, which they call it, onto the from 6 in the secondary school and everything. Maybe you go to the like when you call they used to get even their own college, where you get teachers college, and you get the medical college. You get all these college. You get Forobet College, Indiana College, all sorts of college was in them places. Them abroad. That people don't need to come here. If people come to this country, it's like, as soon as they come, they can't wait, just like in Jamaica, they can't wait to run and go back home, because they know there's no life here. I don't know how the pioneer them manage to stay here, but I mean, some of us get hooked. And they use the black people them in this part of the world, in the America, in here, putting them on television, like Michael Jackson them all, and them boys them all them singers them, they portray them, the image, as if this is what Europe is all about. So there was a lot of game they play on the people them who are outside. That's why even the ones them who are in Europe, especially the Americans and the British, they use so much wisdom. They are the biggest scammers and thieves them, that even their own European neighbors them are fighting to say, boy, me want to go to America. Boy, me want to come to England or whatever it is. Not knowing that they're coming to take your own fat and fry you with your own fat. This is what them people there did. Man. As I say, eye open at me doing, so that we see some of these games and these people are playing or not. But if we gather ourselves together, we say, and even all them prime ministers them who are in Africa, let the children them all go to school. Let all of them go to the university. You will see how faster we do it. Because this is what China do. That's why you think China is leading now in whatever it is. Because when the Americans go there and everything, go and open certain things and do certain work, they didn't just leave it. They learn from it and they close the door and they teach, make all their people educate. Go to school, no mathematics. Even in the Africa, we can look at our brother who is here. We say, oh, the mathematician. You go to Mama Africa. You will meet mathematicians them there. You will be surprised. Yeah, you'll be meeting electrician them there. You'll be surprised. It's not because this money business, they have entangled our eyes with it. But it is system them have to change. In Jamaica, in the Caribbean land, in Mama Africa. When we change that system, we take our eyes off money, give ourselves 10 years, 5 to 10 years. Come see us on top. Yeah, because we get the arts now to even repair our own broken cars, and we say we don't mind, we don't want a Rolls Royce, we don't want a Mercedes. We drive our broken car up and down. We get our fitter, they will fit it up. 1 million back in Jamaica, right there, so in a St. Mary, the boys them were fixing their own motorbike. They have a center down there. They are
I never realized. I know that we're leaving Sister Sandra out of the conversation. Let me just give this last piece on it. I never realized my engineering prowess was early in my life, because I used to go and make up my own bike. Right? And it went to the extent of that I went and got an engine block, right? And out of pure curiosity, though. And I got some tools from wherever I got them, and then I pulled this thing apart. I must have pulled it apart and put it back together about 100 times, right? But it was just a curiosity of how this thing worked, how this that whatever. But I never know. I never know I would end up being a vehicle engineer. You understand? I never knew that. But still, them skills there, you just learn and you just move into it. I'm going.
Yeah, man, it's just to us. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
yeah.
This
is how we are, my brother. This is how much we are creative people. Them. And one thing we must learn, just because everybody we say science, math, this and that. Hey, we get different skill them amongst us. The only thing, we don't have to be greedy. If you can cook properly, don't go and charge me 1,000, 2,000. Say, boy, in order to cook that rice and peas and curry, go to whatever it is for you or whatever it is, you have to pay 1,000. No, because if you come to me who know how to repair the car, I'm gonna charge you 2,000. So you see how the hip-hop begin to start, we all begin to confuse ourselves. Yeah. So this is what we need. We need to calm ourselves down, and people have to know their brothers and sisters, and they know that we were all in this situation together. And you can't come to try to come and make money out of me or whatever it is, because I haven't got that money. You understand? I will take pride, I will take ego to say, all right, then, yeah, brother. But then the next moment, I'm running away from you, because I don't get that money to come and pay you that kind of money you're asking for. Because when I pay that money, you understand? It's like a brother will know who's dealing with painting and spraying.
Exactly.
He comes. He's doing the painting and spraying, and he's charging people every money. Now I can tell you, that brother, I asked for him yesterday, right? I come across somebody. They said, "Oh man, that man him going back here now for 6 months." Then I say, "You understand? I'm not calling no name, but I'm just giving that. Him go back here now for 6 months." So there was another president with people them who know who are introduced, and the people them say to me, say, "No man, come over here, man. That brother they go look after you properly or whatever it is and so on." So this is what I'm saying. When you come to know something, don't go and try to rip off your brother and sister them and so on, because you're only destroying yourself. Because you will run, you go and sit some places them, you put your foot up, and then that money finish, and then you will come for more again. And what you are doing, you are burdening yourself. Even you will lose some of your customers. But we have me talking now for the government them, because at times when I talk, me not talking for individual alone. I want to let my people them who are ruling, they begin to realize that they have to get free education. They have to bring a system where we get our water, our agriculture, our electricity. That who have to form it, let them form it. But the children them have to be educated. They have to affricate. The African children them have to affricate. We are not English people to educate, but want to be affricate.
One of the things, as you're saying that now, right? Obviously, you know, we have to reevaluate our standard of education as African people, right? Affricate, we need to have a totally total review of how we are and what we are and where we are right now. In fact, we need to. I feel that we need to have a separate education system away from the curriculum, which has been set out by these slave trappers, right? So that we can reestablish ourselves back into the African continent in a prosperous way. Yeah, right. So these are things that we can work on or should be working towards in the future. Sister Sandra, you've been quietly allowing our brother to let off today.
Well, my perception is that we needed to hear what he was saying, what the brother was saying, and just in terms of the complexities. Once we hear, we can start to unravel the complexities and we can have a discussion. I would always say, don't be afraid of the letting off. If it can breed, if it can start a healthy discussion in terms of how do we move forward, because we all know what the challenges are. Unless we take action in terms of the moving forward, we're always going to be living in that challenge phase. But let's move forward. Let's have those discussions and see what we can do in terms of moving forward.
Definitely. Right then, Brother Julius. Why you?
Yes, my brother. I would try to end it up now, but let me bring your attention. If you leave Korea, you come to Britain to come and study, or to come and do something, or to work in America, even you leave Africa, they want you to come into British education standard. That's what they say. If you live here, you go to Korea, Korea will want you to do the same and everything in their own education standard. If you go to Russia, same. If you come from Russia, you come here, same. The reason why I'm bringing that to you, my brother, we have everything. We have the faculty, we have the initiative, we have the teacher, we have the news reader, we have the panel beater, we have the doctors, we have the holistic one, we have the pharmaceutical one. We have so many. You understand? All we need, we get our mind together. And the system, look, okay, we all are ruler, but we have to contain ourselves, right? Where we'll be in that meeting, we agree, we come to an agreement. So look, we are right behind in this thing. But within 10 years, we can overtake the whole world. We can overtake them because this is us. We are creative people. We are people that move get the brain. As I say, that's why I bring my brother who's dealing with the maths. That we get so many mathematicians them around. I'm not joking, my brother. If you go to Mama Africa, you go to the Caribbean and everything, even you get a photographic them by the time the brother will be opening his mouth. People are there to learn. They get where how they can, even when you give an answer to math, you can work it in so many, 2-3 different ways to arrive at that same answer again with a give, and they will see it plainly. Yes, we used to study math like that when we was back home or whatever it is, when we was having a bloke them who know the maths and so on, how they putting it on. But what I'm trying to say, my brother, we shouldn't be looking to these people their standard, because all they want doctors, they want engineers, they want a few bits. But we want everything. We get artists, we get singer, we get everybody is attached to what they know. Even the man who knows how to climb the coconut tree, because I don't know how to climb the coconut tree. But when you get man who can climb the coconut tree without no hook on them, you have to ask if this man is a proper monkey. You understand? Yeah, man. You get that. So everybody get their own talent. Everybody get their own gift. I know of a bloke who used to swim. When they go under the water, you would think that man gets what you call like it's a submarine or he gets something. Yeah, man. He would be underneath that water for so long and come up again and everything all right with that brother without putting nothing in him or whatever it is. But what I'm trying to say, everybody get their own skill. We must try to recognize this in the Africa, in the Caribbean island, and leave people them to grow up, because this is what will make the society. But if we leave our people them say they have to come and know how to medical alone, and then all we go to the agriculture farm and do the farm. If we look into money all the time and so on, everybody will be thinking of making a business, and that is the simplest way. They will think of buying their onion, buying their potato, buying their young rice and peas, and put it there and sell it to somebody else and everything. That's because we concentrate on money too much. But if we concentrate on Africating people, then let the government of Africa and even the Caribbean, yes, we need a bit of money, but if you can do a lot, let our people have their internet, let our people have their water, their light and everything, and the rest, let them go to educate or Africate and so on. And you will see as speedy we come out of this without the use of money. Because money is not should be the problem, but we try to put money, which is we see is the root of all evil, and when you turn it around, you want to say mankind is the root of all evil. It's not money.
All right then. Okay. All right then, brother man. All right, brother. All right. Good. Well, I was gonna say thank you for joining us today on the Mind and Soul Connection segment of the Blacknificent Show here on the Galaxy.
All right, my brother. I must go now. Sister Sandra, more boredom to you, more power to you, and I ask that Shango.
She enjoyed the rest. She enjoyed the rest. Yeah.
Thank you, and yes.
Yeah, man. And Amana, and please study all the ancient deity of Mama Africa. They will guide you, but Jesus Christ will never come and guide you. No, Mohammed, Oludumare, Shango, Amana, Jelepe, most of them there, yeah, they will guide you, my sister. So I share to you, and more power come to you, so that you put more, so that Jamaican government make them eyes open. And to my brothers and sisters who are afraid to come Galaxy, you said this white man here will come and arrest you. You just are making fool of yourself. You have to be clean, because how you keep it inside you? Whether you keep it within you or you share it out, if they want to kill you, they still kill you. So you better open your mouth and share, and wait till you're afraid. If they want to send you home, take it. Go home. No problem with that. Right? Your people will die. So don't say, oh, my people will die, or I come to look after my people, the people will send me home. Lie. They won't send you home. Don't look into that. Just get that free spirit and move it up. Free spirit, your brothers and sisters. No freedom.
All right then. Thank you very much, my brother. That's our hey, brother Julius, man. God, it come hot today. It's you left the back fence open. Well, anyhow, let's do a summarization, my sister, as we reach to the top of the hour right now.
So for me, from a summary point of view, we spoke about education, and we spoke about the opportunities, spoke about the brain drain that's currently happening or about to happen in Jamaica, in so much that there's a number of teachers that won't be taken up post in September, and the challenges that presents. But we started our conversation in relation to guarding your heart, and if you've got that big, audacious, hairy goal, be careful who you speak to, because it is your goal, it's your purpose, and you have the ability to make it happen. So just because you're speaking to a family friend or a neighbor and they throw cold water on it, for want of a better word, doesn't necessarily mean it's not meant to happen. It just means then that you need to speak to different people in order to make it happen.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely right. So I'll tell you what, thank you once again for joining us on the Blacknificent Radio Show and the Soul and Mind Connection, which is very vital, absolutely vital, because it's all in one, the whole holistic element of our journey here, right? And let's feature something about that school as well, because if you're going to look to do something there, you never know, you may get some assistance from other listeners as well, you know. So yeah, it'd be good to incorporate them into the mix of all of that, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
Definitely.
Mm.
As things take off, I'll do that.
Okay then. All right. So listen, you take care of yourself, right?
Okay.
Look after. Don't even look after. Get rid of that thing.
It's on its way out.
Yeah, because there's too much beach life to live. So come on.
Yes.
You're right. Get rid of that thing sitting there.
Mm.
I know it's all part of the process, but still, you know,
Mm.
that's how it goes. That's how our bodies are. Beautiful, beautiful things that they are. Our bodies. Anyhow, you take care now until the next
Okay.
time. Right?
Until
Okay.
yeah, in the strong
Yes.
morning.
Yes. In the middle of the night.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, you take care now.
All right then. Take care.
Bless up. That's it. Oh, where have I gone that? See? Why have I got this now? What's going on? Please don't do this to me now. There we go. Until the next time we meet, I'll be back in the morning, 7 a.m. We shall be back here for you on the Grand Rising Show here on the GalaxyFM.net. Next up should be our sister, Noah.
Sunny, yesterday my life was filled with rain. Sunny, you smiled at me and really eased the pain. Now the dark days are gone, the bright days are here. My sunny one shines so sincere, and sunny one so true. I love you. Sunny, thank you for the sunshine bouquet. Sunny, thank you for the love you brought my way. You gave to me your all in all, and now I feel 10 feet tall. And sunny one so true, I love you. And sunny, thank you for the truth you let me see. And sunny, thank you for the facts from A to Z. My life was torn like windblown sand, and a rock was born when we held hands. And sunny one so true, I love you. Sunny, thank you for that smile up on your face. I said, sunny, thank you for that gleam that glows with grace. You're my spark of nature's fire. You're my sweet, complete desire. Sunny one so true, I love you. Sunny, yesterday my life was filled with rain. I said, sunny, you smiled at me and really eased the pain. the dark days are gone, the bright days are here. My sunny one shines so sincere and sunny one so true. I love you. Oh, and sunny, thank you for the truth you let me see. I said, sunny, thank you for the facts from A to Z. You know my life was torn like a windblown sand, and a rock was formed when we held hands. And sunny one so true, I do. I love you, I love sunny. Yesterday my life was filled with rain. I said, sunny, you smiled at me and really eased the pain. Now the dark days are gone, the bright days are here. You know my sunny one shines so sincere and sunny one so true. Oh, sunny one so true, sunny one so true. I love you, I love you, I love you. I don't believe in wrong. I'm a peaceful man. Tell me why do you always try to put me down? It's like a mighty all over the place where the beat is great. Surprise machine again and again all over the place. But I'm a peaceful man. I don't believe in doing wrong. Said I'm a peaceful man. I don't believe in doing wrong. Tell me why.